class. Oh, here comes John. I know stuff about John that none of the other kids know. For example, I know that he has webbed feet like a duck. Well, I know this because we went swimming every day about 2 summers ago. Me, John, my sister Ann, and his brother Danny. Oh, he's going to sit by me. Hey, John. Hi, Jenny. Can I ask you something? Yeah, sure, go ahead. I was wondering if you want to go out with me. Go out with you? Oh, John, we're only 11 years old. I'd just like it if we could be friends again, you know. Jenny, you're such a snob. I don't know why you think you're so good. Everybody knows that your sister's in the loony bin. Oh my God, if my sister were here, she would kick his butt across this aisle. But she's not here. It's true, my sister is in a mental hospital. She tried to commit suicide last summer. And I really miss her. I don't know how to tell anybody about it. Maybe I just won't talk to anybody anymore. So a month passes and I refuse to speak to anybody. And my parents are getting pretty worried, so they decide it's in my best interest to change my school to Robertson Road, where my mom's the nurse, so she can keep a better eye on me. Well, I met kids there, 3 kids in particular that I'll tell you about that got me talking again. Clemente Garcia was such a good-looking little kid. And his favorite thing to do on the playground was to chase after all of the pretty girls. Now, if he chased after me, I wouldn't have run away. I knew stuff about some of the kids at Robertson Road that I shouldn't have because my mom worked there. And I knew Clemente lived with his uncle and cousins because his dad was in prison and his mom had died. What I really liked about Clemente was that he protected his cousin Stella. One day when he was in the middle of a tetherball game, she came running up to him. Oh, Clemente, Jesus called me a fat, sweaty cow and it really hurt my feelings. I'm going to fix him. He slammed that tetherball against the pole. He said, come on, Stella, and they took off. Well, all the kids took after them. Everybody loves a good fight, right? And he exacted painful playground justice against Jesus out of eyeshot of VR duty and forced him to apologize to Stella. Well, that day after class, I followed Clemente out and I said, hey! It was weird. It was the first word I'd uttered aloud in almost a month. Hey, what? I just wanted to say I really like what you did for Stella. That was really cool. Thanks. Me and my family don't take no bleep from nobody. Well, that night at home in front of the mirror, like De Niro in Taxi Driver, I did my best impersonation of Clemente. Me and my family don't take no bleep from nobody. I heard my dad say from the living room, well, at least she's talking again. Sophie Bunn entered Robertson Road after me. My mom told me that he was a refugee from Cambodia. Sometimes she would visit his home and his parents would invite her in and serve her tea and they would sit on the floor around the heating vent. It was a lot colder in California than it was in Cambodia. And Mr. Bunn told her that the Khmer Rouge had murdered their youngest son. He had questioned their authority when he was ordered to abandon his family home and all their possessions to relocate to labor camps. And they took his baby and smashed his head against a boulder and killed him, and Sophie witnessed this. It was the price for asking the question. Sophie didn't learn much English in the first few months at Robertson Road. It seemed like he was kind of checked out and he was going to stay away until he found a more hospitable environment. But we all noticed that he transformed whenever he played soccer. So my friend, Raquel Perez, raised her hand one day. Teacher, I want to make a suggestion. I think that we should play soccer every day for PE. It makes Sophie happy. So we did. We played soccer every single day for PE for the rest of the year. And the first day of our soccer-only routine, when Sophie scored his first goal, Raquel began to lead everybody in a chant. Go, Sophie! Go, Sophie! Go, Sophie! Well, she noticed I wasn't participating, so she jabbed me in the ribs. And then all of a sudden, my voice was raised with the rest of them. Go, Sophie! Well, after that, he started to learn to speak English. He didn't become a gossip or anything, but he even smiled sometimes when he wasn't playing soccer. Raquel Perez was my best friend at Robertson Road, and she was generally regarded as a genius. My mom told me that standardized tests are culturally biased, but she managed in the prior school year to score in the 99th percentile in both reading and math. And this was particularly remarkable because her parents didn't speak English at home. And what really had the staff talking was that on that test, she knew what the word pusillanimous meant. I asked my mom, what does pusillanimous mean? She said it means cowardly. So the next day in class, I said, Raquel, how did you know what pusillanimous meant? She said, good guess. It sounds like a really, really bad word that has a similar meaning. Well, my mom had to stay well after school to finish up her work, so I got in the habit of going home with Raquel. And her parents were never home, so I couldn't go in the house. They were off at work. She had a lot of chores to do before she could join me out on the porch. She had to get snacks for her younger siblings, start them on the homework, get the dinner going. But eventually she'd come out and join me, and we would talk about stuff that 11-year-old kids talked about. But eventually I told her about Sofique's little brother, and I told her about Clemente, and I told her about my sister Anne. And she just put her arm around my shoulder and she would listen. And then one day she said, you know what, I've been thinking. And when we grow up, we're going to be able to do something about the world. Well, I guess I didn't. She didn't know that she already was. So those were the three kids who influenced my life at Robertson Road and got me talking again and got me focused off of my own struggles. I guess I should have taken Holden Caulfield's advice at the end of Catcher in the Rye when he said, don't ever tell anybody about anything. It only makes you miss everyone.